Hi, Sherry Lachine here from Broadmind. I wanted to reach out because I'm going through a pretty hard time and a lot of things have happened. I got into a bike accident at the beginning of the summer, and then I lost my dad after a very brief but painful illness. Um, I'm trying to move through that in a really healthy way, but sometimes it's hard. Anyways, I wanted to share with you something that the Broadmind team has been working on. And it's really helped me go through this really hard time. And maybe it'll help you as well. It's a fresh take or a different perspective on the whole concept of self care. I was getting the sense that self care, the idea of self care, might be a little confusing, annoying, or incorrect. So, Monica Valsenker Smith, one of our teammates, did a landscape review of all of the self care models out there to see whether or not there's a model that really helps us. And that model, those models that came back were vast, models that had finance and spiritual and emotional and physical and more. And some of them had up to 13 factors. And I was like, that's exhausting. And some people come back with this whole idea of self care and they think, well, bubble baths, reading a book, going outside and taking a walk, all good stuff. But when the proverbial poop is hitting the fan and you're dealing with life's challenges, do those really help you? So we came up with something that we're calling the stack. And the stack takes into account some very foundational pieces of how we take care of us. But it also includes something that I've come to realize is really important with the work that's being done in the veterans community and first responders. And that's, how do you manage your nervous system through really hard times like significant stress or trauma? We teach veterans and their families how to understand and manage their nervous system. Why don't we all do that now as part of our self-care routine? And so take a look at this stack. And this was an infographic that we came up with a number of months ago. It's going to evolve. This is out here for comment and for thought. Is this the right thing? Does it help? And so foundationally, we start with our bodies. When things aren't going well, check on those three main components: how you move your body, how you feed your body, and how you rest your body. I know I've got sleep there, but I really mean rest. When do you sit down? When do you recharge in those pieces? And when are they not going well? Like the days where you're not sleeping well, you can realize that the foundation of your stack is a little bit wobbly. And then the nervous system, understanding how it works and when it's engaged and how to soothe it, both in the short term and in the longer term. If you've ever had a conversation with someone where you're kicking right up and you can feel your body, you feel the blood going, you feel like maybe you're under attack, that's part of your nervous system. The cool thing is we can manage that. And maybe we haven't really spent time or learned that. So we talk about that. And then our emotional and behavioral care. Right? What are the thoughts in your head? How do you shift your perspective? How do you allow yourself to feel comfortable and uncomfortable feelings so you can have conversations, so you can have conflict and more? As I work through these pieces of the stack, a little bit at a time, little bit in each stack, it's like little batteries. I fill up each one, more battery with each one, more tools, more knowledge. Then I start to stack better. And then on the side is our social and organizational for our workplaces, that type of support. We are hardwired for connection. We're a collective. We matter to other people. The way that we're stacking impacts other people, influences other people. So stacking well is good for the collective. And then those parts in between, how you're supporting social and the other person's stack, well, that's about how do you show up with no judgment? How do you use skilled language? How do you find ways through difficult conversations? They all play into each other. So I also love this concept because, and I've been using it with my husband, we check in with each other on how we're stacking. And we also have another narrative about I'm not stacking well because I noticed that when somebody slammed their car door across the street, I felt it, like I shook. You know those moments when you feel sort of tense on edge? And so that, or, I didn't sleep well, hun. I'm not stacking well today, so I'm going to go a little bit slower, softer. So we check in with each other in terms of how you stacking, which is different too, because it's maybe better than saying, are you taking care of yourself? Or you should practice more self-care, which I don't know. It doesn't land well for me. So generally speaking, this is just a new take on old models or old ideas, but I'm hoping that it helps us change our conversation and change the way that we support ourselves in these very small moments or in these big moments. We're hoping at Broadmind to be able to provide different training for each piece of the stack, plus a full day workshop that we're working on right now to provide these skills so that you can stack well. So that's what we got. That's what we're working on. And I hope to see you at one of our sessions. We're going to be putting 1-hour sessions together to describe it more. And we're going to be putting together workshops. This is a great next step. If you're a mental health first aider, this is the next step, I think. Anyways, reach out with your ideas. Sherry at broadmind.ca. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for listening. Hope you're stacking well.